Welcome back to another game of On-Base Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of On-Base Baseball. In this game, we're going to have a replay of Game 5 of the 1991 ALCS. Minnesota leads this one by a score of 3-1. So Toronto with their backs against the wall in Game 5 at home. So we'll see if they can come through. This was a good matchup for them. Tom Candiotti against Kevin Tapani. I believe Candiotti won the first game that they pitched against one another. Got some, before we get into the lineups, we got some just additions here. Going to throw in some things, so we're going to use the same runner advancement and base stealing that I've been using. And I'm also going to throw in the precision baseball highlight plays. So on a ground ball or a fly ball or a line out, walks, strikeouts, I believe that's all. So ground ball, fly ball, line drive, walks, and strikeouts are what we have those highlight plays for. So I've got 3 D10 dice that I'm going to roll red, white, and blue. So that's how we do it in precision baseball. This is going to be the normal roll here, so I'm just going to keep these off to the side when I need it. But basically, if it's a ground ball, you would roll a 1 to 1,000 and then just see what the play is. Some of these are going to be not applicable because they require statistics or values that are only in precision baseball. In that case, we're just going to call that a foul ball and re-roll. That's going to trigger whenever I have a 0. So anytime there's a 0, that's going to trigger a rare play. So if you're familiar with the game of dice baseball, similar concept there. When a 0 comes up, you go to the rare, unusual plays. I call them highlight plays because they're not always rare plays necessarily. It might be just a great play in the field, or a ball gets past, hits off the lip of the infield or something and gets past an infielder. So more uncommon sometimes than rare, although there are some once in MLB history type plays that are in there. So let's get started with this one. Let's go with the Twins lineup. It's same as before. Dan Gladden in left, leading off. Chuck Knobloch at second base. Kirby Puckett is hitting third and in center field. Ken Herbeck at first base is the cleanup man. Chili Davis, the DH, is hitting fifth. Brian Harper is at catcher. He's hitting sixth. Shane Mack in right field hitting seventh. Mike Pagliarulo at third hitting eighth. And Greg Gagne at short. He's hitting ninth. On the mound, Kevin Tapani, right-handed pitcher, can go 29 batters. And 349 is his Sierra, so he'll be coming off this column 1 card. For the Blue Jays, leading off is Devon White in center. Robbie Alomar is at second, hitting second. Joe Carter is in the DH role in this game. He's hitting third. Olerud is at first base, hitting fourth. Kelly Gruber at third, hitting fifth. Candy Maldonado takes the field in right, and he will be hitting in the sixth hole. Pat Borders is the catcher, hitting seventh. Manuel Lee is in the eighth spot, hitting short, or at playing it short. And Mookie Wilson gets a start in left field. He had a good game the last game out, but in a loss for Toronto. Tom Candiotti, right-handed pitcher on the mound. 28 is his stamina, and 334 is his Sierra, or FIP, I guess. So he's going off here, and let's get this one started. So Candiotti ready now. Top of the first inning, it'll be Dan Gladden, Chuck Knobloch, and Kirby Puckett for the Twins. Twins looking to close this one out. They had a good win in the last game, and they held on for the win. So 4-6 to a -12 is going to be a fly ball that goes out to center field. Fly to 8. Sorry. It's early this morning, so give me a minute to wake up. All right, next up is Chuck Knobloch, 36 to a -4. That's going to be another fly ball. That one's out to left center field. Caught by the left fielder. And Mookie Wilson puts it away for out number 2. Brings up Kirby Puckett, 14, and we have our first 0, so we'll see what this is. 14 to a 14. That's going to be a base knock. So he hits that to left center field. So I don't have any highlight plays for base hits. So Ken Herbeck is up with 1 on and 2 outs. A 35 to a 17 is going to be a strikeout, and he goes down swinging. That'll be out number 3. So Candiotti gets through the first, gives up a hit, and strands that runner at first base. So we go to the bottom of the first. Toronto will send up Devon White, Robbie Alomar, and Joe Carter against Kevin Tapani. Tapani with a really good season. 3.49 was his FIP. We have a 13. That's going to be a grounder, hot shot to third, but no problem at third base for Pags as he gets the throw and gets it over to first. Robbie Alomar to the plate. We got a 44 to a 15. So this is going to be a walk, and that is a 10, so that's going to be a highlight play. Let's go to our walks. This is a chance for different things like wild pitches and stuff like that. So we just take our 3D10s. We get a 321 on a walk. 321 is going to be the pitches in the zone, and the umpire calls it ball 4, walk. The pitcher stares at the ump. So missed call there from the umpire. Not happy about that one is Tapani, but going down to first base is Robbie Alomar. Especially unhappy because Robbie Alomar is just going to take off. Brian Harper is a minus, so Robbie Alomar becomes a 9, and he's going to steal second base right out of the gate. So Alomar at second base with Joe Carter coming to the plate. And a 34 to Joe Carter, who is a 19. 34 is a chance for a home run, but this is a 5 or greater, so that's actually going to be a strikeout. He takes a mighty cup, and he comes up empty. Last hope here, John Olerud. 35 to Olerud is going to be a strikeout. So back-to-back Ks for Kevin Tapani as he gets out of a dicey situation with a runner in scoring position. And that's going to take us to the top of the second inning, no score. This is Game 5 of the 91 ALCS. It'll be Chili Davis, Brian Harper, and Shane Mack against Tom Candiotti. So Chili Davis, a 29 batting runs. 34 is a home run chance, but we have, again, a roll of a D10 that's greater than 5. So Chili Davis comes up empty on a 3-2 pitch. Brian Harper to the plate. He is a +5 batting run, so an 11 to him is going to be a strikeout. That's off of Candiotti's card. 2 down in the second, and Shane Mack coming to the plate. Another chance here. Well, that's a single. And that'll be a base hit down the left field line. We're actually going to try to run and take second base on that one. So 1 to 7, he'll be safe at second, otherwise we're out of the inning. And he gets thrown out from Mookie Wilson. Gets to it quickly, and we go 7, we'll say 7-4 on the putout as he throws it to the second baseman covering. And Shane Mack thrown out trying to advance on a single down the left field line. That'll take us to the bottom of the second. And Kevin Tapani will face off against Gruber, Maldonado, and Pat Borders. 34 to a 2 is a single with an error check. So space hit to left field. No error on the play. And Kelly Gruber standing at first base for Candy Maldonado. This will be a ground ball. That goes to the shortstop. We're going to get 1 out here at second base for the fielder's choice, and then we'll roll against this 4. 1 to 4 is safe. Otherwise, it is a 6-4-3, and that's what we got, a 6-4-3 double play as they roll it up on the Toronto Blue Jays. That'll be 2 quick outs here, and Pat Borders to the plate. Borders a -11 batting runs. He's going to chop one to the shortstop, and that's going to be out number 3. So pretty quick inning there for Tapani after a leadoff single. And we head to the top of the third inning. Still no score. It'll be Pagliarulo, Gagne, and then back to the top of the order with Gladden. We get an 11. That's going to be another strikeout. As Candiotti racking them up. He's got 4 in 2 1/3 innings. Brings up Greg Gagne. 55 is going to be a line out or a foul out. So that's a line drive out. And that will be to the shortstop. Final chance in the third for the Twins is Greg Gagne. Dan Gladden. 44 is going to be a walk. So Gladden takes a base. That's the first walk of the game issued by Candiotti. Gladden's going to try to get himself into scoring position for Chuck Knobloch. So 1-7, he'll be safe. Actually 1-6, because the catcher here is a plus. So 1-6, he'll be safe. It's a 5, and he's in there with the stolen base. A 1-6 is a 66% chance, 66.6. So pretty good chance of stealing the base. Brings up Chucky Knobloch with 1 in scoring position, and it's a 15 to a -4. That's going to be a base hit as he hits one into right center field. With 2 outs, that's going to score the runner from second as the Twins get on the board first. And Knobloch is going to try to hustle into second base, get himself in scoring position. A 1-6, he'll be safe. It's a 1, and he's in there. With a hustle double, we'll just change that. And that's going to be Kirby Puckett to the plate. He singled in his last at-bat. The Twins are now up 1-0. 26 is going to be a base hit. That's to right center field. Possible error on the right fielder. Right fielder is Maldonado. He is a plus, so no error on the play. Base hit to right is going to score the runner from second base. And that will be an RBI for Kirby Puckett. Not going to try to push our luck with Puckett out there, but brings up Ken Hrbek to the plate. Hrbek punched out in his first at-bat. He's going to hit a single down the left field line here. That's a long single. Doesn't matter for him. And it doesn't really matter for Puckett. He's going to get third base anyway with 2 outs. So a hit parade here in the third. 2 runs are in, and we got a runner at third and a runner at first. So it will be Chili Davis, a 29. A 46 is a line out. We'll call it a line out. And we're going to have a highlight play. I don't have anything for pop outs, so we'll call that result a line out just to get some more of these plays in here. So line drives, and let's see what happens on this play. A 104. 104 line drive down the left field line, or down the first base line. The first baseman dives, and he makes the catch. Clutch from Johnny Olerud. As Chili Davis rips one down the line. And John Olerud reaches out, makes the catch at first base. That's going to end the inning. We'll go L3 on the putout. And that is the end of the third. 2 runs come home for the Twins. It's 2-0 Minnesota in this put-away game. If they win this, they would go on to the World Series. And so we have a back against the wall game here for Toronto. Let's see if they can put up some runs. It's Manuel Lee, Mookie Wilson, and Devon White. We go to the bottom of the third. Tapani to Lee. 35 is going to be a strikeout. As Manuel Lee goes down swinging. That brings up Mookie Wilson to the plate. A 35 is going to be another strikeout. This time he gets caught looking. And back-to-back Ks for Kevin Tapani. He's got 4 on the day. Next up is going to be Devon White. White hits a long single into right center field. That's picked up by the center fielder, but Devon White is going to hustle his way into second base with a 2-out double. Brings up Robbie Alomar. 35 to Alomar is going to be a strikeout. So Tapani strikes out the side. He squeezes in a double just for good measure. And Toronto strands a runner at second base. They need those runners to come in. They're down 2-0 as we head to the top of the fourth. Brian Harper, Shane Mack, and Tagliarulo to the plate for Minnesota. This is going to be a bouncer to short. No problem at shortstop. And that will be a throw to first for the out. Candiotti against Shane Mack. He gave up a hit to Mack in his last at-bat. Mack tried to extend it into a double and got thrown out at second base. 44 is going to be a walk, so no chance for that here. As he goes down to first base. 7, he becomes a 6. Let's go ahead and try to get him in scoring position. They playing with house money a little bit here. It's a 5, and he's in there with the stolen base. They have a 2-0 lead, trying to stretch that out. A base hit would probably score a run here from Pagliarulo. 36, though, is going to be a fly ball. That goes out to center field. And the runner is going to hold at second. Greg Gagne, last chance here in the inning to get a run home, and he is going to strike out as Candiotti gets him. And that's going to be out number 3. So Minnesota strands a runner at second base, and we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-0 is our score. Toronto looking to get back into this one. This is going to be the heart of the order for them. Joe Carter, John Olerud, and Kelly Gruber. They got one a long way. This is going to be a grounder, routine grounder to short. No problem at short for Greg Gagne as he makes the play to first. And that brings up John Olerud. Olerud a +10, but that's not going to matter as we got an 11 here, and he's going to strike out against Kevin Tapani. Tapani now with 2, 4, 6 Ks on the day. 2 outs in the 4th inning. A 25 is going to be a fly out with an error check, so it's a fly out to right field. In right field is Shane Mack, and he's going to range over to make the play. Nice job in right, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Tapani in the 4th, who's looking good in this one so far. And we head to the top of the 5th. 2-0 is our score. Minnesota on top. This is Game 5 of the 91 ALCS, being played with the new On-Base Baseball Pocket Edition cards. You can purchase this 1991 set at the link in the description. You can also purchase 1980 or 1986. Top of the 5th we go. Candiotti against Dan Gladden. 24 is going to be a strikeout, so another K for Tom Candiotti. Candiotti can go 28 batters. He's only at 19 right now. Both pitchers looking good in that department. Chuck Knobloch is up. He is 1 for 2. He had an RBI double and scored a run in the last inning, or his last at bat. This time he's going to ground out to second base. No problem at second base for Roberto Alomar Jr. Kirby Puckett to the plate, 36. Puckett is 2 for 2 with an RBI. And a 36 is going to be a walk, so he remains perfect. And he is not going to be stealing. Ken Herbeck to the plate, though. At 34, he had a single in his last at-bat. 34 is a chance for a home run. The D10 is less than a 5, and that means that Kent Herbie is going to go deep. And this is blasted out to left center field. And Ken Herbeck extends the lead as they add 2 more runs. Kirby Puckett's going to come home to score. Greets him at home plate, gives him a high five. And they head back to the dugout with a 4-0 lead now. I'm going to pull the plug early since this is an elimination game. Let's go ahead and pull the plug early on Candiotti. And we will bring in Mike Temlin. So 7 and a 3-4-2. He'll also be pitching off of this card here, but I think in an elimination game your hook gets a little quicker. We're in the 5th, 2 outs into the 5th, and Candiotti is out of the game. So he is no longer on the hook for anything, so he goes 4 and 2/3, gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits and 4 runs. He had 1, 2, 3 walks and 6 Ks. So not a bad start. But we're going to have Timlin come in and finish off this inning. He'll face Chili Davis. Chili Davis lined out with runners in scoring position in his last at-bat, but he's going to strike out looking in this at-bat. So Davis goes down for out number 3. Timlin comes in, puts out the fire, but not before 2 more runs come in for the Twins. It's now 4-0 Minnesota over Toronto. Toronto is going to send up Maldonado, Borders, and Manuel Lee. Game is halfway over. They need to get some offense going. 35, though, is not going to do it. 35 to a 6 is a ground out, as that one is hit hard, but right to the shortstop, Gagne. Gagne makes a nice play to his left, spins and throws, and gets Maldonado at first. Pat Borders to the plate. He grounded out his first at bat. He's going to do the same here as he taps it back to the pitcher. No problem on the pitcher's mound as Tapani tosses it over to first, and that is out number 2. Brings up Manuel Lee. Manuel Lee is going to hit one hard to center field. That goes over the center fielder Kirby Puckett's head. Wasn't expecting that one. And Manuel Lee is going to wind up at second base with a 2-out double. Mookie Wilson to the plate, looking to do some damage. 25 is going to be a fly out down the left field line. Coming in hard is Dan Gladden. There is no error on the play, and Gladden is going to make the out for out number 3. So down goes Toronto. They strand another runner in scoring position. They've done that 3 times so far in the game. And Tapani has danced around some dicey situations to keep the game scoreless, for Toronto at least. 4-0 is our score. We go to the top of the 6th. Brian Harper, Shane Mack, and Mike Pagliarulo for the Twins. Boy, I've been playing this one really badly. I'll have to do better than that. I've been playing the inning by inning, but it's not. So we're going to run into some issues out here if we don't pay attention. So Brian Harper to the plate is 0 for 2, and he struck out and grounded out. A 55 to a 5. That's going to be a line out or a foul out. That'll be a foul out as he pops out to the catcher. So we'll say a foul out to 2. As he pops that one up behind the plate, catcher puts it away for out number 1. Next up, Shane Mack. Mack is 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. He also has a stolen base for good measure. 25 to a 23 is a fly out. That goes out to right field. And we're doing an error check, so we got to pull it again. And there's an error on the right fielder. That's going to be Candy Maldonado making the E9 in right. And that might open the door for more runs. Let's see. Pagliarulo to the plate. 34 is going to be a single with an error check. So it's a base hit to left center. There's no error on the play. Shane Mack can try to go to third. Let's go ahead and do that. He's already been thrown out once. 1 to 7, he makes it into third base. He gets thrown out again. Gosh, Brian, stop running with him. So 8-5 is going to be the put out. That'll be out number 2. And Twins running themselves out of an inning. This will be a 13. This is a tapper back to the pitcher, and no problem for the pitcher, Timlin, as he makes the out at first base. So Shane Mack gets thrown out again on the bases, and we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. 4-0 is our score. Tapani still on the mound. He can go, he's at 18, he can go 29, so no real danger there. We are going to have Devon White, Robbie Alomar, and Joe Carter. So this is really the toughest part of the order. Let's see if Tapani can get through it a third time. It will be 35 to a 16. That's going to be a strikeout, but we have a 0 here, so let's see what happens. We do have some rare strikeout plays. So let's see what that is. Rare play on a strikeout. The roll is a 970. And a 970 says, wild pitch on strike 3. The catcher throws wildly to first base and the batter advances to second. All runners advance 2 bases. So we have a wild pitch on strike 3. So that means there is a strikeout. So that's going to be a strikeout. But the runner advances to first, and then he's going to advance to second on an E2. So I believe that's how you would score it at home. And a bit of a crazy play there. Brings up Robbie Alomar with a man in scoring position. 66 is going to be a strikeout. Kevin Tapani, mentally strong, comes back and gets Alomar. So 1 out and 1 on. A 35 to Joe Carter. That's going to be back-to-back case. Ooh, Tapani. Don't hurt him. And Olerud to the plate. Olerud is 0 for 2. He's got a couple of strikeouts himself. A 36 is going to be a walk as he heads down to first base. Now runners at first and second for Kelly Gruber. 23, Kelly Gruber is going to get under the, or actually he's going to ground it to second base. We'll see if there's an error. Possible error, but Chucky Knobloch is a plus, so he's going to make the throw to first. Heck of a play at second base as he dives and makes a good throw to first, and that's going to be out number 3. So after a wild strike 3, throw down to first, error on the throw, and at second base was Devon White, and they can't drive him home, and that's been the way. This is the way for Toronto. So in the top of the 7th inning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll let Timlin go one more. He's been very efficient. Pitched an inning and a third, and let's see if he can get through the top of the order here. It'll be Gladden, Knobloch, and Puckett. First up is Dan Gladden. He's 0 for 2 with a walk, a stolen base, a run scored. But here he's going to bounce out to the shortstop. So Lee over to first, and that's going to be out number 1 for the Twins. Twins are up 4-0 here in the top of the 7th, looking to put away this series. They lead the series 3-1. Chet Knobloch to the plate. Knobloch is 1 for 3 with a double, a run scored, and an RBI on that double. 35 to Chet Knobloch is going to be a grounder. Smoked to third base, but the third baseman Kelly Gruber makes a good play. And that'll bring up Chucky Knobloch. Kirby Puckett. 66 will be a strikeout. So 3 up, 3 down. Go the Twins in the top of the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Mike Timlin, a good job coming in and relieving Tom Candiotti, has allowed 1 hit and no runs. So we head to the bottom of the 7th. 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3. Kevin Tapani looking good for a complete game here. Let's see if he can finish it off. Excuse me. And a 23 to Candy Maldonado is going to be a ground out with an error check. So that goes to second. And that's a 7. No error on the play. So good job at second base from Chuck Knobloch, who's made a couple of good plays. And he gets out number 1. This is going to be a double down the left field line for Pat Borders, who gets around on 1. And he will cruise into second base with a 2-bagger. That brings up Manuel Lee. Lee also with a double in this game. He's 1 for 2. 46, and that's a 0 here, so we'll pay attention to that. 46 is going to be a fly out. So we do have some highlight plays for fly balls. So let's see what that is. And 895. All right. Fly ball hammered to foul ground in right field. Long run for the right fielder. Range check on the right fielder. If the play is made and less than 2 outs, then the runners will advance. How How can we do a range check? I don't think we can. So what we're going to do is just call that a foul ball. All right. I knew that was going to happen with some plays. So that'll be a foul ball. We'll re-roll. Runner at second base for Manuel Lee. That was a long, loud out. 13, he's bound and determined to have some sort of highlight play as he hits a ground out with a 0. So a 13 is going to lead us to some sort of play here. 457. Mm-hmm. 457. Chopper over the pitcher. Second baseman gloves it a second, steps on the bag, and throws to first. If there's a runner on first, then a 4-3 double play. Else there's a 4-3 fielder's choice. All runners advance. So there was no need for him to step on the bag, but we'll say that he makes a good play. And with a runner on base, that'll be a runner advancement. So we'll call that a fielder's choice 4-3, a nice play behind the mound, and that's going to kick the runner over. So runner at third base now with 2 outs, and Mookie Wilson to the plate. 26 to Mookie Wilson is a -9. 26 is going to be a ground out. That is a harmless grounder to short. Greg Gagne is up with it, and that gets the Twins out of the 7th inning. So Manuel Lee was trying to create a little drama there. But we head to the top of the 8th inning. We need to get a new pitcher for the Blue Jays, as Timlin comes in and pitches 2 1/3. Excellent innings. So he gave up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 2 Ks. So good relief performance from him. And let's bring in 8th inning. Let's bring in Dwayne Ward, who is a righty and a stellar 1.74 FIP. He's not had a good opportunity, or hasn't had any good outings here when he's come in. So let's see if he can shut down this Minnesota offense. It'll be Herbeck, Davis, and Harper. Really, this is the most dangerous part of the lineup for the Twins. Herbeck is 2 for 3. He had a 2-run jack in his last at-bat. 23 will be a ground out with an error check. So no error on the play. Good play by Manuel Lee as he gets it to first for the out. And Herbeck is down for out number 1. Brings up Chili Davis. 35 to him. That's going to be a strikeout as Ward blows it by him. And Brian Harper stands in. He fouled out in his last at-bat. Popped up to the catcher. 26 to a 5 is a grounder. Again to shortstop. No problem for Lee. That's a 1-2-3 inning for the new pitcher, Dwayne Ward. So we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is 4-0 Minnesota over Toronto. Toronto needs to mount something. And quickly, as they send up the top of the order, Devon White, Robbie Alomar, and Joe Carter against Kevin Tapani, who is at 27 batters. He can go 29, so we'll keep a close eye on him here and see what goes on. He's got a strikeout here. That's a good way to start things off, as he gets Devon White for the 2nd time. This will be touched by Robbie Alomar. That's hit out to deep right field. Going back on it is the right fielder, Shane Mack, and he makes a nice catch near the warning track. And that is out number 2. Joe Carter to the plate. Last chance. He's going to rip a single into left field. It's a long single, but his speed is only 5, so he's not going to go anywhere. So base runner with 2 outs, and John Olerud standing in. This is a little tapper to shortstop. No problem at short for Greg Gagne, who has made all the plays today. And that is going to be out number 3 as he gets to throw across the diamond. One more inning left in this one. If the Blue Jays can't get anything in the bottom of the inning, it's going to be adios to them. And so we're going to bring in a new pitcher here. It's going to be Tom Henke. Henke, the closer for many years in Toronto. And not sure if he was closing this year, but he had a 2.44 FIP. So I think that's pretty solid. 4 and a 2.44. So we are going to have the big man come in. This is a good solid inning here. Zeros across the board. And Henke will face off against Mack, Pagliarulo, and Gagne for the Twins. This will be a bouncer to the second baseman. That'll be out number 1 as Robbie Alomar makes a good throw to first. Shane Mack is out. Pagliarulo single in his last at bat. He's 1 for 3. He's going to strike out here as we get a second out, and that'll be the first strikeout for Tom Henke. And Greg Gagne to the plate. A 46 to Gagne, but we got a 0. So 46 is going to be a strikeout, but we do have a 0. So let's see what happens on the play. Maybe a strange and unusual occurrence. Maybe not. We have to roll to find out. 775. 775. 1-2 pitch. Fastball low and away for strike 3, but it's off the catcher's mitt. It goes all the way to the backstop, and the runner is safe at first. So we have a pass ball on a strikeout. So we'll call that a strikeout, and we'll say here. And he gets here on a pass ball for the catcher. So a couple of wild occurrences here with the catchers. And that's going to bring up Danny Gladden. Did this open a door, or is this it? 24 to a -12 is going to be a strikeout. There's 2 outs and no chance for a double play. So we will give Henke the strikeout there. And he struck out 3 in the inning. Had to get an extra out there. So 3 strikeouts in the inning, and he also had a ground out. So a little bit weird, but that's why we have the weird and unusual plays, right? So no runs in the top of the 9th for Minnesota. Toronto looking to close this one out. Tapani is going to 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. We're going to let him give it a chance to finish this one out. So we have to drop him down a column. That means he'll go to this card here. And we'll see. You can see his strikeouts get taken away a little bit. And 33s all of a sudden come into play. You've got home runs and doubles, and you've got walks and singles. So we'll see what happens here. Kelly Gruber to the plate. Tapani trying to finish this one off at 24 is going to be a strikeout as Gruber goes down swinging. He's 1 for 3, 1 for 4 on the day. Brings up Candy Maldonado. Maldonado's grounded out 3 times. Let's see if he can get the ball in the air. He can't even touch it, so he swings through strike 3. That's out number 2. And that brings up, actually we're not going to go with Pat Borders. Let's see what they got here. They got Ed Sprague coming off the bench. So they need 4. They need base runners. So a pinch hitter in the 9th. And he's going to be 2 - 2. So we'll get a pinch hitter for Pat Borders. Borders 1 for 3 with a double. 25 to Ed Sprague is going to be a fly ball. That's out to center field. We have an error check on Kirby Puckett. There's no error on the play, and Kirby Puckett catches it and throws his arms up in the air as the Twins get a chance to celebrate their ALCS victory on enemy turf. They win this one by a score of 4-0. Kevin Tapani with a complete game shutout. And let me take a break here, and I will come back with the totals. All right, and we're back with the totals. Minnesota wins 4-0. It's 4 runs on 7 hits and 1 error for Minnesota. No runs on 5 hits and 2 errors for the Toronto Blue Jays. Our player of the game is going to be Kevin Tapani. Tapani goes 9 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 11 Ks. He gets the win. Tough luck loss is going to go to Candiotti, who goes 4 2/3, gives up 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, and 6 Ks. If Toronto could have mustered anything, would have kept them in the game. But Toronto was not able to figure out Kevin Tapani in this one. Not much going on down here. We had a double from Devon White. He also reached on an error. Single from Joe Carter came up late. We had a doubles from Borders and Manuel Lee as well. But up here, it's going to be Ken Herbeck, who goes 2 for 4 with a 2-run homer and provided a little spark on offense. Also, RBI double from Chuck Knobloch, RBI single from Kirby Puckett. Puckett goes 2 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI, so a nice game for him as well. And this will send Minnesota on to the World Series. So this is actually how it happened. They won this series in 5 games, and real life has played itself out again on the tabletop. Good series, though. I thought Toronto was going to bring a little bit more to the table, but too much pitching from Minnesota, really. And their starting pitching was electric as they took care of Toronto. Again, this is played with the On Base Baseball Pocket Edition, 1991. You can purchase that at the link that I put in the description. You have to go over to thegamecrafter.com to get the printed sets, but you can get 1980, 1986, and 1991. Those are all available. If you do a rush job, you can probably get your set in a couple of weeks at the most, maybe a week. I had reports that from someone who has been ordering each set, and he said they keep coming a little bit faster each time, so maybe that's a good thing. The next set will be 2024. I've completed the cards. I just need to put it all together and then proof it and do everything like that. So that should be coming soon, probably in the next month or so. That'll be released, maybe in time for Christmas. Don't know. But that'll be a fun one to have the season that just happened, and you can replay that season throughout the winter time. Again, this is not included with the game. This comes with the Precision Baseball, which is a new game that I have. And then these homebrew rules, these are actually posted on the Facebook group. So if you're on Facebook and you want to join the Clark and Addison Facebook group, you can do that. Go to Facebook groups, look up Clark and Addison Gaming Company, answer a few questions, agree to the group rules, and I'll let you in. And then you can go to the files section and you can actually download that sheet as it is. So I took some homebrew rules that were posted by one of our Facebook group members, and I just put it into more of a tabular format, which you can see here. So runner advancement, base stealing, starting pitcher fatigue, and then reliever closer fatigue over here. So just some general rules that he implements into on-base baseball. That's totally cool. That's actually the reason that I keep the game so vanilla, is that it gives you hooks and places to add in your own homebrew rules, bringing in your own set of highlight plays. We had one gamer who says on a 0, that's when he kicks in special plays like balks and wild pitches and stuff like that. So kind of a fun way to get that in. If you're using the online dice roller, it's a 1-to-9 dice roll, so you won't be able to do that necessarily. But maybe you can find out your own way to do that, to integrate those in. Maybe on an 11 and a 9, you kick in a rare play or something like that. That would be 0.3% of. That'd be about a 0.3% chance of a rare play happening. So as in 0.3% chance. So that would be a pretty small percentage. If you want it to be 1%, it would be, you'd have to roll like maybe a 3 or a 4 or something like that. I'd have to do the math, but it would be around 3 or 4, and that would give you, I think 3 would be a little less than 1, 4 would be a little more than 1, but that would give you about a 1% chance of a rare play or whatever you want to happen on those plays. And every single one of these, you got 21 results. every single one of these can be a rare play. It can be like some sort of crazy thing that happens. On the Facebook group, I posted about how you can use the D9 modifier to be able to take this normal result and turn it into some sort of rare play, or you can adjust the home runs and things like that. So for this one, a home run is a home run if it's a 6, 7, 8, or 9. Otherwise, it's a single. You can adjust those numbers up or down. If it's a pitcher, we have a specific pitcher card for pitchers, which we didn't use in this series. We also have this card here is for your best players. So this is Barry Bonds. In 1991, it's Barry Bonds. It's Bonilla. It's Frank Thomas, who had like a 60 batting runs. So it's for anybody with 30 plus batting runs. Typically in a season, it's between 5 and 10 players who have that sort of number. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, depends on the season. But these are your perennial all-stars. I mean, your perennial MVPs. So they have a home run on a 45, which is that's an almost 6% home run percentage. So it's pretty salty. If you wanted to add more, you could certainly change out one of these from a strikeout to a home run, or a walk to a home run, or whatever it is. The game is totally manipulatable. So if you want to go in and you want to change everything and just create a whole new system, for you to do that, every double is worth 2.77, 2.78%, and then every other play is worth 5.56 or something like that, 5.556. So you can figure out the percentages of everything within a baseball game. How many times does this happen per plate appearance? So it's whatever the result is, a strikeout, a walk, or whatever, divided by plate appearances, and that'll give you that percentage. So home runs is home runs divided by plate appearances. That gives you the home run percentage. So you can use that and try to match those percentages on the cards themselves. So if you got a guy who hit 70 home runs like Mark McGwire, then you know this card is not enough, because his home run percentage is probably a little bit more. It might be in the 6, 7 range. And so if you wanted to add in excuse me, if you want to add in one of these doubles, then that's going to get you up to that 7% range when he comes up. So you can manipulate all of these results either by creating a new card or by changing the percentages on this dice. So that and then we have a pitcher card as well. So if we're playing American League teams here, but if you're playing a National League team, or you're playing where pitchers are batting, you can use the designated pitcher card, which is just a worse version of this card. So you can see the home run is on a 9. Here it's on a 6. Foul out is on a 7. Foul out is on a 5 here. The triple is an 8, but you have to have a 9 to get a triple for a pitcher. So the percentages are just different, and it's easier to get a hit off of here than off of here. So I've manipulated that card so that it's a worse player. You know, even a position player at less than, at a -5 is going to be better typically than a pitcher who is at -5. So just because of the number of at-bats and things like that. So I've made that change, and you can use that pitcher card if you want to. All these cards come in this package here. You can see these are all the other teams, and they all come the same way. So there's batters on one side and pitchers on the other side. You can see the Rocket, 257 FIP, and I don't know, not too many people. Frank Viola, David Cohn, Dwight Gooden. That's pretty salty. 1, 2, 3. Their whole pitching staff was pretty great for the Mets. So Braves here with Glavine, Smoltz, Avery, Pete Smith even had a decent year. Charlie Lebrand had a good year. Randy Johnson, young Randy Johnson for the Mariners. So lots of cool players to go through and sift through. And then the box itself has some instructions that you can see. How to deal with long singles, stealing and taking extra bases, error checks, what to do just a reminder about fielding and when there are multiple outcomes, things like that, how to deal with the slash lines. So it's just little reminders so that you don't necessarily have to have the game guide with you, once you get into playing just a little bit. So you basically put those cards in there, you fold it up like that, and you got your nice little season in a box. So that's how that works. And so the pocket edition is really cool. All you'll need to provide is some sort of score sheet or a way to keep score. It could be a blank piece of paper or a tablet or whatever. You can use digital score sheets like Green Fox or Digital Diamond or whatever you want to use digitally. And then you're going to need 2 D6 dice, and they don't need to be different colors because you're going to be reading the small number first every time. And then if you want to play with the, most people don't have a D9, but if you got one, you could use it. But you can use a D10 for a real, if you're using physical dice. I also have an online dice roller. You can find that in the game guide. And you can use that. It's free. I created it just for this game. Basically, you just click the button, it rolls for you. It rolls this combination of things. And then kind of speeds up the game a little bit. So a lot of fun to play, or if you're playing on a plane or you need it to be quiet, something like that, then you can play with that online dice roller. It can be used on a phone, tablet, any web-enabled device, or a computer, a desktop, whatever you want to use. So it is mobile optimized. Once you go to the website once, if you keep your tab open, you'll never have to do it again. The program runs inside the tab, and if you lose your internet connection or you have to be offline or something like that, just load it in the tab and then open the tab, and you should be able to play with on-base baseball using the online dice roller. So it's offline capable, just because it doesn't require a page refresh or anything like that to roll. So you should be good to go there. All right, I think we'll leave it at that. 4-0 is our score. Minnesota wins this series 4-1 over the Toronto Blue Jays. This was played on October 13th, 1991, and Minnesota is going on to the series. They would face off either against the Braves or the, I want to say it was the Braves and the Pirates, who were playing to get into the World Series that season. In fact, that was Sid Bream streaking around, I think, Francisco Cabrera. I think that was the season, 1991. And if I remember right. And so that was a great series as well. All right. Go to clarkandaddison.com and pick up more seasons of On-Base Baseball if you want to. This is just the pocket edition, but I have full editions of the game where you can download PDFs of every player who is carded in the season, including this 91 season. And you also get what I call the roster sheet set, which is just basically a spreadsheet of all the players with their values, just like you see here. So it has all the gamer values for batting, defense, and speed, but you also get all their statistics for the season, just like you do on the player cards. It's just the player cards in a spreadsheet format, basically. And you would take that spreadsheet and you would take their values, put them onto a score sheet just like this one, and then play out a game just like you would here. For the player cards, you can play right off the card, sort of like a traditional tabletop game like APBA or Strat or whatever. So you got lots of different options with On-Base Baseball. You can also homebrew a bunch of options. So this game is totally a blank canvas for you to play with. It's also a quick and fun game to play. So get out there, play it. This is sort of the flagship game for me. If you want something more detailed, go with Precision Baseball. I've got 2023 and 2003. I'm working on 2024 right now. So that set should come out this winter as well. So you'll be able to play the entire season that just happened with Precision Baseball, which is a much more detailed, more fine-grained game. So if you're looking for something a little more challenging and a little bit more detailed, a lot more detailed, then you should go with Precision Baseball. I've got some other baseball games as well. You should check that out on the site, as well as football and basketball games. All right, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.